On a hot July afternoon, Sherry and her friend Michelle wanted to go to a museum. But this museum's a little different. It's been a fixture in the lower Ninth Ward since 2003 and is located in Ronald Lewis's backyard on Tupelo Street. As well as being the House of Dance and Feathers director and curator, Ronald W. Lewis is president of the Big Nine Social Aid and Pleasure Club, former council chief of the Choctaw Hunters, former king of Crew de Vue, a lifelong resident of the lower Ninth Ward, and a central character in Dan Baum's bestseller, 9 Lives, Mystery, Magic, Death, and Life in New Orleans. So we took a ride down to the lower Ninth Ward of New Orleans, an area decimated by Hurricane Katrina. Some of it still in shambles, other parts showing great signs of rebirth. We arrived at the House of Dance and Feathers, which is a celebration of the living culture of New Orleans and the lower Ninth Ward.
800 feet. The destination is on your right, 1317 Tupelo Street.
But it's also an attempt to share the culture with the rest of the world and to pass on knowledge and traditions to the next generation. As you approach the museum, you're greeted by a sign that reads, "Come in a stranger and leave a friend."
Ronald, you still got the Bayou Steppers up somewhere?
They're in my Jazz Fest pack.
Ah, okay.
See, I keep my packet of Jazz Fest separate from everything else.
Ah.
That, in order for me to get in everybody while one out there, I got to keep it together. And what you see in here is our culture in its purest form. Now when they're performing on stage at the Jazz Fest, we're on the streets of New Orleans. You know, so it is where, you know, you got this target date to reach this finished product. So everything goes out the window. Quite a few Mardi Gras Indians have lost wives and girlfriends behind making those suits. Or spending their money, the children's money, the grandma money, and things. But the satisfaction is when you walk out that door on Mardi Gras Day, is for people to tell you how great your work is. And then you takes off with all your supporters telling you how great you are until you meet your friend across town. And then you realize somebody been lying to you.
And Ronald, tell them about the Skull and Bones gang, because
well,
this
the
is Ronald.
Northside Skull and Bones, that culture was even before there was even a Mardi Gras here in New Orleans. And when people come here, they talk about the culture of Mexico or the culture of the Caribbean. And I tell them the passageway from Africa came that way and ended up in the port city of New Orleans. So skeletons, baby dolls, Mardi Gras Indians, everything. We have some kind of connections somewhere. And like the Black New Orleans Mardi Gras Indian, that the history goes, back in the 1800s when the French started Mardi Gras, they had a law on the books called Code Noir. Then they code black, and under that law, say that slaves in New Orleans could have Sundays off. And on those Sundays, slave, free people of color, and the Native Americans would use to interact. And through that interaction came the Black New Orleans Mardi Gras Indian.
Ronald then showed us a patch that was a work in progress that one day would adorn a Mardi Gras Indian suit.
To a finished product. And our runways are the streets of New Orleans and not in Paris or New York.
It's a warrior with a sacred wolf head dressing on a white.
Now, young man, that's a parade fan. I knew it don't look like a fan, but when it come from a lady club called the Popular Ladies, and that's the walking cane that's hanging up there that matches that. Oh, this way, son, right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I tell you, the ladies in our street culture, they don't back down to nothing. Yeah, we be out there with $1,000 shoes on and designer suits and hat, and you know, at times we got to step to the side. Well, we could do this. We could have custom made shoes and everything. You know, but that's New Orleans. You know, like I said, when we put on our Sunday best, that's it. That Sunday is your day. And be honest with you, Michelle would like for me to tell the story.
I already told him.
She be sort of shy of her body, But back then, when she came into the culture, headstrong. She was already tall and good looking and everything. And I'm uptown where they come out at. I'm standing out there, and here she come walk out the door. And you know, but like I say, she's a tall, attractive woman. And on a big day, you look taller, you look bigger, you look everything. And she stands up there, and we don't know each other, but I'm standing there. And she said, I want to tell y'all. And she said who she was and everything of their club, the Bayou 7. And she said, we come back to put the social aid and social aid pleasure club. So now, my hair just stood up behind my neck. You know? I'm saying like to myself, who the hell she is? We've been doing this from the mid-1800s to now. Now she gonna put back what already that. and from that day on, be honest with you, I embraced her. Because she brought
Taught me everything I know.
a fresh spirit that was needed.
I can tell you.
And by doing so, you know, as time went on, she just truly grew to who she are in our culture, and she's respected out there. And that's not the easiest thing in the world. Whether you're African American or Caucasian,
You're exactly right.
to gain the respect out there on the street, because they say you have to put your stretch marks on the street in order to be respected.
Right.
Yes.
I learned a lot.
Right.
So
Yeah.
much from you.
Right.
And then I was able to do some good here finally. Once I stopped being such a loudmouth expert like with my
Say that again.
But that culture life is transforming. You know, from you being an everyday old person to, oh, I'm the president or CEO of this club or whatever, and people look at you, flies and things, because we are the keeper of our community. So you know, we meet all the tests along with meeting our social life and everything, but we are New Orleanians. We love our way of life. We embrace it. When we came back here to nothing, I had 14 feet of water, lost everything. And I got to go back to my friend Michelle. Michelle came here with wheelbarrows and push brooms and gloves and everything, shovels, to help me put my life back together along with my other friends. And I promise everybody that as long as I have a breath, their story will go on. And not just about what we do culture, but what we do as people in this city, and how far we have grown to the point here I am a member of a Jewish marching group called Crew the Jew.
and you were the king of Crew to Boot.
Yeah, I carry the title of the big marker in Crew the Jew. I eat bagels and lox and all that kind of stuff, but it starts with this stuff called gefilte fish.
Starts there for me too.
You didn't want none of that.
No. I told my Jewish leader, if you ever offer this to me besides at the Seder, I will bring a pot of chitlins to your house. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yes,
That took care of that problem.
Yes,
So if you get the chance, take a trip down to the lower Ninth Ward. I'm sure Ronald Lewis will be happy to spend some time with you as well, if you take the time to visit the House of Dance and Feathers and get to know a beautiful man dedicated to telling the story of his beautiful culture. And just like the sign says, you may come in a stranger, but you will leave a friend.